A good tool improves the way you work. A great tool improves the way you think. Buried in the dirt, forgotten by time, this old shovel has seen a century of work. Rusted, broken, but not beyond saving, a relic of the past just waiting for a second chance. But I'm not doing this alone. I've teamed up with Ira Houseweart, two-time champion of History Channel's Forged in Fire. Can we restore 100 years of history? Or is this shovel too far gone? Stick around because this is going to be one wild transformation. Today, we are restoring an old True Temper shovel I found lying around in the homestead. This thing is many, many years old. So I teamed up with Ira Houseweart, History Channel's Forged in Fire two-time winner. He is one of the best blacksmiths, and he happens to live nearby.
I've been told True Temper is a great tool to find. I mean, it's a little worn down, but it's still going to give a lot of life left after we put a brand new handle in it.
So the first step was to take the old handle out, and of course, the old wood inside rotted, was stuck on. So James, one of Ira's guys, decided to try to use a screwdriver to see if we could get it out of there, and that wasn't working, so they just threw the entire thing into the forge and burn off the wood piece. Coming out of the fire was super hot. We were able to get the wood pieces out, and we had the canvas to get our work started. So there was some cracking, and removing the screwdriver showed a hole where it was put in. So the guys decided to fill that up. They were going to weld a little bit and fill in the hole, and then we were going to just put in the letter and engrave it. First pieces of welded material going in there. James is now cleaning it up, trying to get that old edge that was there before. And what's great about the shop is that they have everything you need to work on metal. And they were able to find an old R to be able to stamp on, including the True Temper.
You're spinning.
The R didn't come out so good when we were doing this, so they got an inscriber tool and they were able to just complete the R. The next step after that was to bring the shovel into a sand blasting chamber. In there, they could remove all the rust and bring the metal to its glory. Meanwhile, James was sandblasting. Ira got a piece of ash that he had lying around. In Ira's opinion, ash wood is the best handle to use, so he got started working and making some handles. James finished his sandblasting. You can see how great it looks. So the next step after this was to finish out the handles.
We're going to take this square piece of 1.5 inch ash, and we're just going to turn it into an octagon right now on the table saw with little 45-degree notches. And we're going to just rip that right off, and then we're going to come out with a nice octagon looking tube. We'll be sure to orientate that grain with the prying of the shovel. Keep up the strength there, hopefully make a super strong shovel. But that's the kind of detail that you're not going to get like a store-bought shovel. They can't spend that much time on a handle.
The next step was to use a sander and to get rid of all the angles and make it a smooth handle. This is a tedious process and the dust is so fine, so we were all using protection here. The next step was to create a true temper on this. Ira explains more.
So we're going to take the steel to 1500 degrees. And at 1500, steel becomes non-magnetic. So right about there, it's like a dull red. I go a little more, it's right there, I'm still magnetic. And then the water tub is right there. And then I'm banking that this is like a medium carbon steel, so I am going to do a water quench. Here we go. And it broke. It cracked.
It did?
I had to think about life. We should have oil quenched it. Got to think what I want to do here.
I was so pissed off when the shovel cracked that he decided he was going to start his own shovel, and we're creating a separate video for that. I'll put a link down below where Ira forges an entire new shovel from scratch. It really wasn't his fault. We didn't understand that these shovels were made with such high quality back in the day.
So that wasn't fun. We tried water quenching the shovel and it cracked on us. So now we got to try to fix it. Clearly we should have oil quenched that piece. It's just higher carbon steel than I surprised. You know, like if we got a store-bought shovel today down at the store, it's going to be basically a mild steel, a 1018. A good quality shovel today would be like 1040, which you'd want a water quench. This thing, who knows what this is, you know, something equivalent to a 1085 or something. I'm thinking about welding the thing out with a little bit higher alloy welding wire and then go again. Hopefully trying to make it strong enough that it's not just going to break when we go dig it in the ground. We've got to terminate the crack, make sure it stops cracking there.
And the oil quench was the appropriate move. So once the shovel was re-welded, after that, Ira explains the next process.
So true temper, meaning they were quenched in oil and then pulled out again and then tempered to just draw down the hardness a little bit, plus bring up the hardness, or the toughness, sorry. So we're gonna put it in the oven at 400 degrees and bake it, basically, for 2 hours. The only things I do in the shop that smells good.
It's super important to coat the shovel once it's been baked in beeswax to prevent rusting.
Okay.
Ready. And James is adding the final pin here. So it just requires stamping on both sides till it's locked into place. Ira's doing the final sharpening here. I requested a sharp shovel, super important. And the final touch on the handle was to put it in the forge, give it a nice burn look to it, add some character to this beautiful piece. Some oil to keep this handle preserved. And that, my friends, is how the shovel is brought back to its glory. You can see how sharp it is. It's just taking out chunks of wood on this. So I'm super happy with it. All right, so the moment of truth. How amazing is the shovel? Look at just this beautiful handle here. Restored even with a crack, you can barely tell. This thing is beautiful and it is so sharp. I can basically cut anything. It's like a knife, like a machete. This is the best quality shovel that I'll probably ever own. It's just dense, can't even imagine. It's light with this beautiful handle. And you see the markings here just going along with it. You just don't find this anywhere. So you guys want to see how sharp this is? Just decimates these stalks. So what's this? I'm just an innocent farmer here working with my shovel. What? Oh, ah. Just like show. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.